Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing this look that is for a job interview. Just a really natural look, not anything too crazy, just really neutral and just very much so enhancing of your natural beauty and kind of just playing your positive features. So first thing we're going to do is start by priming our face. I just used the Tarte Clean Slate primer. And now I am taking Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation and just applying that with the Urban Decay Optical Blurring Brush. It's just a foundation stippling brush. And I'm just making sure that I am putting on like full coverage and making sure that I really buff that into my skin really, really well. So now I'm just taking my beauty blender and I just sprayed a little bit of Max Fix Plus on it, and I'm just going over all of my skin and just dabbing, and this will just pick up any excess product and also just make sure that all of your foundation is really like pressed into your skin and blended in really well. So now I am just setting the shape of my brows and kind of priming them for when I fill them in, and while that is drying, I am going to prime my eyes with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. My favorite way to prime my eyes. Gives really nice coverage as well as creates a really smooth surface for your eyeshadow look. So you just want to put that from lid all the way up to brow bone in your tear duct, well, not in your tear duct, but you know, the inner corner of your eye as well. And now I'm just taking Bobbi Brown's Bone eyeshadow. It's just a stark white shadow, and just a really fluffy brush, and just setting that area that we just put that cream down, because if you don't do this, the eyeshadows you try to put on for your eyeshadow look may kind of stick to certain areas and not blend out as smoothly. So this is a very important step. So now I'm just using my Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I'm just going to fill in my brows. Again, I cut this out because it's really long and, in my opinion, extremely boring. So brows are done. So now I'm just taking Bobbi Brown's Banana. Again, it's just like a really light powdery shade, but it has more of like a yellow hue to it, where Bone is a stark white. This has a yellow hue. So this yellow hue, what it will do is act in a brightening way. So putting it on your lid, like a shade that has some yellow like hue to it, will be very brightening. It's really nice to have like highlighting shades that have a yellow hue to them, again, because it just kind of tricks your eye and makes the area appear extremely bright. So I decided to take that all the way from the lid all the way up to the under my brow area as like a matte natural highlight. So now I'm taking my favorite shade from Bobbi Brown. It's called Toast. It's just this beautiful warm, really light, like orangey brown shade, and I am just taking a really diffused blending brush and popping that in my upper crease. So now I'm taking an E35 from Sigma and Bobbi Brown Cocoa just to add a little bit of depth in my lower crease, as well as creating like kind of a wing shape with my eye. I have really small eyes, and they are kind of close set. Not crazy, but a little bit. And so what this does when you apply shadow like in the outer part of your crease, a darker shadow like this, in the outer part of your crease and in the V area of your lid, it just really helps them kind of like be more separated on your face and also make them look larger. So now I'm just going back into Toast and just buffing that all out just so there isn't any harsh lines. So now I'm going back in with Banana and a MAC 242 shader brush, and I am just packing that on mostly on the inner like 2/3 of my eyelid. Obviously I don't want to cover up what I just put down with Cocoa, but I just wanted to make sure that after all the shadows and blending that we had done previously, that Banana didn't get all just kind of washed away. So now I'm just taking my E35 one more time with no additional product and just running over where Banana and Cocoa meet to make sure it's a smooth transition and isn't a harsh line. So that is what you are left with. So now I'm just taking Urban Decay Naked Weightless concealer and just applying this on my under eyes. And take my damp beauty blender as always and just blend that out. The reason I like to do my eyeshadow look before I do all of this is because I like to be able to use the concealer and the beauty blender to like clean up the shape of my eyeshadow look. So if I want it to be more rounded, I will, you know, go over it and create a more rounded shape. Or if I want it to be like cat eye like this today, I'll just make sure that that line is very, very smooth where I want my shadow to start. It's kind of like a foolproof way of getting your eyeshadow shape the way you really want it. So now quickly I'm going to go in, I'm going to set that using just a Bobbi Brown like powder foundation. The one I have is just in a very light shade, so I like to use it specifically for setting like my concealer or my under eye area. So I'm just taking a flat powder brush from Morphe and just really pressing that into my skin there and making sure that, you know, the concealer doesn't crease and show any like wrinkles or any lines or anything like that. I'm also going to take it all over my whole T-zone because, as you all know if you've watched my other videos, I'm very oily, so this is an important step for me to make sure that my makeup doesn't just like slide off of my face throughout the day. And then I'll take whatever is really left on the brush and I'll just kind of buff the rest of my skin. Not too much again because I don't want to make my whole face really light. But, you know, it is very helpful to have a little bit of powder there, like all over your face, just for the sake of blending out like your bronzer and your contour. Makes it a lot smoother looking. So now I'm just taking a Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer and just a really big like flat top powder brush from Morphe and just hitting like the outer parts of my face and just making sure that my skin is just really nicely warmed up. This is like my favorite part of doing makeup because I feel like it's like all of a sudden life is back in your face when you start adding bronzer and contour and all that definition. It just really brings it all together. So now I'm going to go in and contour with that new Laura Gellar bronzer that I was like raving about in my last video. I love this stuff so much. I literally have not gone like one day where I've worn makeup without using this stuff since I bought it. That's how much I like it. So I'm just going to go in and use like a smaller, more precise, rectangular shaped brush to put on or you do my contour with. You guys know the deal with this if you've watched my previous videos. You just go under the hollows of your cheeks, around the top of your forehead, and you can choose to also go like around the bottom of your face, like where your neck starts, just to make your chin look a little bit more defined. I do that, but not everybody has to do that. I mean, there's different areas depending on the shape of your face that you should be contouring or highlighting. Just for me, I like to do that. So again, you want to make sure you don't bring it down too far, and you want to make sure that you are blending upwards, not pulling it down like towards your mouth, that you're blending back and up towards your ears. So now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to bake. I'm using Laura Mercier translucent powder like usual, and I'm just taking a flat kind of angled powder brush from Morphe and just doing a really light bake. I don't want it to be like stark white and super unnatural looking because again, this is for an interview and I want to look just like myself, just a little bit, just kicked up a notch. So I don't want it to be too overwhelming. And while that's sitting on my face, I'm just going to go in and set my brows with Anastasia Clear Brow Gel again, now that they're all filled in. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start doing a little bit of some gel liner on my upper lash line. I don't necessarily recommend doing like a winged eyeliner for an interview, but I did want to do like just enhance my lash line a little bit and just kind of like give my eye a little bit more of a shape. So I don't do a big wing. I really just keep it like super tight to my lash line and flare it out, just kind of flick it out a little bit on the end, not a really definitive wing. And as you can see, like I said, I started really, really close to my natural lash line. Because I just, again, I think a lot of people, I know I can, but a lot of people can kind of get crazy with gel or like liquid liner really quickly and you end up with like a giant wing. So I just kind of feel like the easiest way to avoid doing that is just to very slowly build it up from your lash line. So once that's done, as you can see, I was using like a gel liner, but I always go over it and clean it up and just make it more precise and bring the wing, the little wing that I do have on the end to like a sharper point, just because you have more of like a fine tip if you use like a liquid pen liner. So that's what I'm doing now, and it just makes it look more matte and just darker. So I just ran over what I had already done. So then I just applied some Bobbi Brown Tawny blush. I love this blush. I think it's beautiful. It's really nice for like the spring and the summer. It's just like a very natural looking shade. And then I dusted away that, that baking that we had done. Now I'm just lining my waterline and my lower lash line very tightly with an Urban Decay eyeliner. That's just like a really warm brown color. It's really pretty. And then I'm taking that Bobbi Brown Cocoa color again on a flat shader brush and just like slightly, I would say more pressing it into my lash line and into the liner than buffing it out, but just kind of dragging the product around on my lash line and making it not look choppy or anything and just kind of filling it in. And then I took another pencil brush and that toast color and just buffed it out. So now I'm just applying some mascara. I'm not going to do false lashes in this again because I don't want to go too overboard. I just want it to look like myself and not completely like done up to the nines. So I'm just applying like my favorite mascara. It's the Benefit's They're Real mascara, and just doing like a couple of coats and really separating it and like taking the time, much more time than I would if I was going to put false lashes on, to just make them look very nice, because that's all I'm working with. And I also did my lower lashes because I personally never skip this step. Like, I feel like there's very few eye shapes that aren't complemented by lower lash mascara. So then I just picked up my pencil brush one more time and picked up some more of that banana shade and just like popped it in the inner corner of my eye for like a nice highlight. And now I'm going to highlight my cheekbones, and I'm using Bobbi Brown Shimmer Stick in Pink Quartz, and just highlighting all the high points of my face, focusing the most of the product on the tops of my cheekbones. And I decided to like take it over my blush a little bit too. You don't have to do that, but I just wanted to because it's a pinky highlight and I was wearing a pink blush, so I just thought it might complement it nicely. Nice glow. And then I just set my skin with the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. And now I'm just going to line my lips, and I'm just using a Bobbi Brown lip pencil. I think it might be called Natural. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head at this moment, but I'll link it, or I'll put it in my description box below. So I'm not really like overlining or anything. I'm just, you know, working what I'm working with. So then I'm taking Anastasia's Kristen lip gloss. It's like a neutrally kind of brown lip gloss, brownish hued, like nude lip gloss. Very neutral. And just applying that on my lips. So that's it. That's the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a good day, guys. Bye.